All right, I figure we should take stock. My life has just been books on the floor for a minute. We're at this angle so you can kind of see my TBR card. And so I just have a bunch of books around me, and I should first of all make sure the TBR card's the way it should be, and maybe figure out what books should go into my closet versus stay on my shelves. Little mini organization video. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I don't normally do these things live on camera, but it seemed fun. So let's first start with some books that I have now in the collection that I didn't have till recently. Evie sent me a few books. One of them is a duplicate, so I'm going to for sure be giving it away or unhauling it in some way. If you really want this book and you live in the continental US, so it'd be media mail, DM me and we can discuss. The Past is Red by Catherine M. Valente. I already own a copy of this. So I do not need two, but I really do love, support, promote this novella. It's very good. But I got two other Catherine M. Valentes because Evie decided this is not an author for her and had already bought a bunch of her stuff. Deathless, which I hear is very dark and macabre. And then also The Refrigerator Monologues. I just like Catherine M. Valente's writing. It has a very unique voice, and I wanted to try out more of her stuff, so thank you, Evie, for that. And then it's still shrink-wrapped. So I don't know, I feel weird taking it out of its shrink wrap, but I should eventually. Like it feels weird having a book in shrink wrap at all, but this is Star Wars: The Legends of Luke Skywalker by Ken Liu. This is my only IP book. I have this weird problem with IP books. I don't know why. But essentially, Ken Liu, great author. I own everything else. I didn't own this. Evie's husband was never going to read it, apparently. So now I get it. Don't know when I'll read it. Luke Skywalker's not even like my favorite part of Star Wars. I just trust Ken Liu, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm an Anakin Skywalker girly. Because, I grew up on the prequels like a champ. Okay, so then, I still have this big bag of books that I hauled when I was in Canada. And I have a bunch of books that I have read that used to be on the TBR card, but shouldn't go back there because that's the TBR card. But I don't really actually have space on the shelves behind me. And I haven't bought new shelves yet because I have been existing and not thriving and moving into my home as fast as I would like. So I think the first thing to do is let's take out the TBR cart and check out the state of it. And I never showed you guys all the sections of it anyways, so let's do that. All right, let's see if we get this camera closer. All right, so the bottom shelf, I think, is generally okay, but it also does have some space for books. In general, I made the bottom shelf, and I'll see if I can make this shorter. Okay, so you can kind of see. I've made it so it has some books that I just don't have plans to read anytime soon. If you look over here, it has some middle grade and young adult. This is where all my hardbacks that I haven't figured out what to do with are. I do tentatively have plans for lessons in chemistry. This was gifted to me by my grandmother. The ones on the bottom, I really should figure out my life with. That has some books from Orbit that came out one year, but see back here, I got some space. Now the second shelf, I have a bunch of kind of assortments of things. So I have this Eden Robinson trilogy here that I haven't read, but was gifted to me kindly by Evie. These are my nonfiction. This is my nonfiction TBR right here. This right here is my short story TBR. So all my short story collections are right here. I have my very large Louise Erdrich stack there. So I have some space for short stories, and I have a lot of Louise Erdrich. But I can also add a book or two in there. There, that stops falling as much. Much better. Okay, and then here is kind of my lit ficky contemporary thing. None of them are priority TBR at the moment. But I got Nkweki Emezi. This is the author of Exit West, which I've talked about a lot. And I have 3 Latin American works back when I was doing my Latin American TBR. So Jawbone, I forget which country. That might have been, was that Argentina? Does it say? Where's this author from? Let's look at the back. I do not think I know. Regardless, this is a horror book that I've been wanting to read. Okay, so all of this, I do see I have space to work with, because the goal is this top shelf, which we're going to go through more, is only for things that I really want to read in the nearish future, and I'm pretty sure some of the books on there right now are read. So let's look at that. Alrighty. Ugh. Okay, Lost Ark, read. It needs a different home. Same with Don't Fear the Reaper and The Angel of Indian Lake. These have been read, and I think my first book in the series is on Ryan's bedside table. He DNF'd it. Sad days. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I still want to read that, so that should still be up here. Same with Unraveling by Karen Lord. I've already read Bride, so I Need a New Home. And I've already read Elysium. So, right now, everything on the TBR cart is a TBR book. So let me gather some more TBR books around. Okay, I think these are all the books that I have to put on the cart. I think everything else is kind of being read in real time or has been a read book, and I have to solve a different problem with that. So, Star Wars, we said it's short stories, and I don't know when I'm getting to it, so let's put it with my other short stories. Thing with TBR cart is it doesn't quite work like a bookshelf, so you get to watch me struggle in real time. Maybe I'll just put it on the end here. Yes. Okay, so that's there. So that works. Catherine M. Valente. So I have my two Catherine M. Valente. Are either of them things I really want to read right now? This one intrigues me. I don't know about this. This might be a later time. And I do associate her with kind of lit ficky things. So maybe I should put her over here with these other books. Going. TBR carts are an exercise in jigsaw. Perfect. It's like they were meant to be there. It's beautiful. Look at that. Okay. We've got Immunity Index by Sue Burke. I actually do really want to read this. Oh, I forgot to say, Chain Gang Saw. That's been here for a while. That wasn't here at the beginning of the list, but all of these are TBR books. Oh, and actually there is another TBR book on my desk. I should grab that so I can, actually clean up. So let me finish these three books. Brown Girl in the Ring I traditionally had down here, but it's also been chronically on my TBR, so I think I should actually push it to try and read it this year. So I'm going to put it on the top shelf. This was already on my priority TBR. I just haven't gotten to it yet. It was just on my table because I almost read it. And then my last book in Terra Ignota. And I'm just going to put that over here. And actually, I think I'm going to put Fault Tolerance on top of it because those are both ends of series that I'm working on right now. So they should just be in their own stack. And let me go grab the last book I was thinking about. Okay, I had two more books on my desk that need to be up here. One is another arc I have, The West Passage. And if you notice, I have two arcs over here that are sad. Maybe that's a video project one day. These three arcs that should be read. And then I still have the first book in For the Wolf, which maybe I might tentatively have reading plans for this next year. So I'm going to put that over here because it doesn't really fit on that side. And now the TBR cart is updated. It still hasn't fixed. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Come back, TBR cart. So I forgot that I have this entire stack in front of me. I think not all of these are TBR books, though. Yeah, this one I've read. See, the nice thing about being a book collector is I just buy things that I already own. So, yeah, this isn't a TBR book. I just own that. Same with Blue Beautiful World. But the two books that I do have that I actually do want to read sooner rather than later are the Pendrick and Desdemona books. So those do need to be put on this TBR card in some real rhyme or reason. Okay. And then if I put you like this, haha. Okay, so now that said, I still have a shit ton of books around me. I'm drowning in books and not in that much book space. So I think now my next priority is figuring out what are the books on the floor that I really want on the shelf. And it's a good question. Okay. Let me make some piles real quick. Okay, I think I've made a few stacks. One is, I don't want these books anymore, so I should get rid of them. That's these two. Womb City, didn't like, 2 stars. August Ikito DNF this, so I don't want those. And I have a large stack of, should probably go in the closet / I do have other book locations in the house I might mess around where they go. So like Just Mercy and Evicted. I had given these to my mom to read and I finally took them back because Ryan hadn't read them and I'm like, these are really good nonfiction. So we have a bookshelf in his office, so I might put these over there, especially since I want him to read it. This one I just bought a new copy of. So it's for now going into my book closet because it doesn't match the other one and I don't need 2 copies. Similarly, I'm trying to figure out where I want to put Tuck To Me. I don't think it really fits on the shelves behind me right now. Actually, it might. Oh, I'm going to regret this. I'm putting it in the other stack. Talked myself out of it. Lost Ark. I'm going to book closet it for now. I don't necessarily want to get rid of it, but I don't love it enough to like find space for it. Same with Bride and Elysium. I already have a copy of this on my shelf. I believe Chilling Effect's in the closet, so will go Prime Deceptions. Tidal Creatures Will Join Seasonal Fears. And then this is where I struggle a little bit. I think actually I'm going to put you over here. But these 2 I liked, but probably not enough to like have on my shelves. But I do think they're pretty. Like, we have always been here. I don't know. I could see this one year getting rid of it just because I'm never going to reread it again. But then The Emperor and the Endless Palace. I recently posted a video with my review of it. It's like not a fun book. I don't have happy memories with it, but it is so pretty, you know? And like, I actually do like its project. Like, look at these end pages. Like, so it's such a pretty production that I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't necessarily want it on my 2 bookshelves behind me. And like, the point of the books in the closet boxes is I do plan on having more shelving one day. It's not been a high priority now. So that means I have this big stack of books down here, and I feel like I'm missing a book that should be around. I don't know if maybe I'm just like, I think I'm missing To Like the Lightning. Oh no, there it is. Oh boy, there are 3 books up there that I need to put in stacks, but that's okay. Only one of them I want to put on these shelves. I'll show you guys in a minute. So I have these short stories. Let's see if they'll fit in my short story collection of the shelf, because right now, I don't know if you can see, but down here is where I put novellas and stuff. So it's like, let's go down here. So this is about where I typically have been putting novellas and short stories. So that's why I was like, this could actually fit here. And it fits really nicely with my Arbor Reality and Open Veins to Latin America. New Suns 1 and 2 is one of my favorites. I don't know if they'll both fit here though, and I don't know what I'd want to get rid of to make it fit. Now what I might do is, I don't really need Oceans at the End of the Lane on my shelf. 1, I haven't reread it since I bought it. And 2, Neil Gaiman has not been my favorite author. And 3, the news has come out about him. Not great. So really, it doesn't need to be on these shelves. I'm not saying I'm going to get rid of it, but it doesn't need to be here. So that gives me some space. Oh, The Deep is so good. That should go there, though. I have Legion here just because I really like it, even though I do have like the whole bind up. But this is actually a really pretty version of the book. If I can't, actually, Thornhead should probably go. I need to find a place to put all my T. Kingfisher, and I haven't really solved that problem yet. And I even have, I think, another T. Kingfisher I need to put back on the shelf. So I have these 2 T. Kingfishers where I don't like where they live currently. Have the Patrick Rothfuss. Okay, this is another T. Kingfisher. Okay, but let's see now that I've moved some of those. Put Untethered Skies back. New Suns 1 and 2. And then Bloodchild, which is very good. So what's our space situation now? Alright, I got to fit back on the 2 Kingfisher I really like. Thornhedge is really kind of one of my least favorite, so unless I can really fit it, I don't really care, but I think I can squeeze it in. Woof. Tight book fit. But they're all here. So we did it. That part's done. Okay, so now this is where the Tetrising can really get wild. Oh, especially because like I'm going to be getting a new Tasha Sori eventually. Okay, so first of all, I don't know where to put my Angel of Indian Lake. That might need to go in another room because I used to put it here, but now I don't have enough space for it there. I don't really want to get rid of anything here. So this might go and be highlighted in a different part of my house, especially since the spines aren't that exciting. So I'm going to put that in a different stack because I do want it on a shelf. I just don't know where. And this is where I need to go up real quick and grab a couple books. This one goes in the book closet because I already have it on my shelf. This is a book I don't need to get rid of, but I didn't like that much. So again, it's going in the book closet. Maybe if I like the rest of the series more, it'll get to be on a shelf in a special place one day. But I mainly went up to get this because I have these 3 books in the Terra Ignota. I have no idea where I want to put them, but I would love to have them on my shelf. I don't know if this needs to be on my shelf, but it's just like a really pretty book, and I already have all my other Gen Lions. And like, here's the thing. I think I could fit it in that stack and remove Kai K, which doesn't need to be on my shelf, or could go to a different part of my house because it's a pretty book. So I think I know where the Sky and Fire might go. Tricky part is the Blue Beautiful World and those Beyond the Wall, because they should go next to their friends. Right now, this is my situation here, and I'm a little hampered by the world we make and the city we became in terms of actual physical space, because there's not like an actual spot, and I already have the Greenbone Saga here. I could move This Is How You Lose this, How Long Till Black Future Month, but I kind of always liked its weird stacking there, so I'm gonna have to Tetris that a little bit. Up here is where the Space Between World is, and like I think I like this book more than those Beyond the Wall, but I actually really like both of them. Now, if I look at their spines back to back, is it that exciting? Not really. So I don't know if I need them to be next to each other, but it feels like they should be because they're both my Micaiah Johnson books and they're the same world. Now, I could maybe get away with this by moving the Sword of Kaigen, but where do I move the Sword of Kaigen? Stay tuned. That might be the Tetrising that happens there. And then the last problem that I have not solved is I want to put my Terra Ignota series on here. Now, what this might mean is, I told you I have a T. Kingfisher book problem. And these are my other T. Kingfisher books. And like, we already had those 3 down here and everything was stupid tight. And maybe I need to find a new place to put all my T. Kingfisher books to be highlighted. And then the space down here that I just opened up could be Terra Ignota. So I'm gonna shuffle around a bit with that problem solving in real time and we'll see what happens. Okay, I don't know if I love this, but it is a temporary solution where I now have these books on their side and I was able to stack Terra Ignota, Those Beyond the World, Space Between Worlds, and Sword of Kaigen. So I don't know, like I said, if I love this. Let's see if that gives you a better view of it. Especially because I normally don't like stack like this. So I could put this on the outside and put these books in the middle, which I might do eventually. But for now, at least, on the shelf. And then the last book I need to figure out, where's this? And then I'm going to put these T. Kingfishers back where they were because that was not a solution for the Terra Ignota because they were too big. They weren't the right size. That's another thing. So I have to do a lot of like size matching for this type of project. So wish me luck down here. Okay, so I've actually was able to do all this, and I was able to move the Carmen Maria Machado and Redemption Indigo here, and I can actually probably put My Heart is a Chainsaw here, so that fixes my Stephen Graham Jones problem. Now I just have these 2, and they might actually go up here, and I'll show you where I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them by the Night Watchman and the Paper Menagerie in them, and I think it'll look really pretty up there because these just like, they're a different size because they're the only Orbit hardbacks. So, but I think once I do that, I have a handful of books I want to put on a shelf in another room that'll look nice in another room because these are also like kind of the books that people are like, oh, I've read that book before, or I've seen that at the bookstore, conversation-y books. These are my cool books. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I might flop this around real quick and then we'll call it a reset, shall we? Okay. Trying to decide how I feel about this. I think I like this better. I still think I need to mess with the color a bit. I might switch these 2 around, especially because I'll need to add the 4th one to this because I think the color gradient with this being so dark sticking out, not this one, this one. I'm a weird person when it comes to bookshelves. So I think I'm going to reorganize that real quick. But I think Sword of Kaigen has to stay on top. And I think that's where it's going to live for now. I might move Sword of Kaigen to be on my top part of that bookshelf. Haven't decided yet because I kind of liked it being visible here. But we'll see. Okay. I think I like this. Let's put us in normal frame and see how we look. So yeah, for approximate normal frame, I like it. These colors still make sense to me. It'll be a little closer. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that was interesting at all. That's how I do bookshelf stuff. I don't do it very often. And like I said, I have a big stack to my side here of books that need to go in the closet. And you know, there's gonna be more problems because I'm getting another one of these. Getting another one of these books, so always a Tetris game. Really should, like, I have shelves downstairs that are not gonna be my permanent bookshelves, but I really should figure out what are things that I love and want to have on display but don't want on these. That's future me. For right now, this feels good. And you know, I have 2 solid books to unhaul. And actually for all of these books, these 3 right here, so Past is Red, August Akito, and Womb City. If you're interested in any of them and you're in the continental US, so I can do media mail, so it's like $2 or something, and you're okay sharing your address, I would send these to you. So just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys around. If you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, leave a stack of books. Otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. All right, so since filming that, we went on a trip. I went here. This is an amazing bookstore. I was able to get this book used, brand new condition for $9. If you don't know, I love Victor Laval. This seems to be about an asylum haunted house story. I'm excited for it. So this is going on the TBR card. Both of these get to go on the TBR card, so that's at least exciting. And then I got the new Sorceress Comes to Call because this was on sale for 20%. And it matches the other Tor ones where they have the beautiful end pages and then the nice stenciling. So like I've just been collecting all the Tor printings of T. Kingfisher because I really like the quality. So let's go put these on the TBR cart. And then I will also maybe give a more in-depth tour because I realize I didn't really ever do that. All right, there they are, right there. You guys got a pretty okay tour of this. But I guess let's go through my shelves. First, up here, that's my cap from my undergrad. My sibling made that for me. I'm a big Lion King fan. Okay, these are a lot of my Sandersons. I know these aren't in order. I will fix it one day. Probably when I get the 5th book, the special editions. This also came in that box. So now here, I don't think those will stay there like I was talking about in the video, but maybe one day. But right now, we got Terragnota, we got Rook and the Rose, we got the Tasha Suri, although I get to order the 3rd book soon, so then all this is gonna be a mess. Course of Dragons, like basically a lot of hardbacks I really like end up over here. And I kind of like the orange, blue, orange, but maybe I should put them closer together for consistency of color. But I love highlighting for myself Our Share of Night. Like I know in videos, you guys don't see above here, but for myself. Down here, I stack by size, and apparently the Harper Voyagers are closest in size to a UK paperback. So we got the Jen Williams trilogy, we got Machinery's Empire, which everyone in my Discord is threatening to reread right now. And maybe I will do that. We've got Ted Chiang, and then we got my Nikki Drayden collection, because I love Nikki Drayden. More people need to read Nikki Drayden. As promised, Micaiah Johnson's right there. We got my Karen Lord, we got Fonda Lee, basically just favorites, right? Then all of here's Jemison, Carmen Maria Machado, and another Karen Lord. Down here we have my novellas and nonfictions, short stories of note here. This is Dandelion Dynasty because it fit there, and then eventually the entirety of the C.L. Clark will go there. I need to figure out my perfect home for T. Kingfisher because some T. Kingfisher's here, some is down here, and I just bought the new one, and obviously this is not sustainable. Over here, I have a bunch of Tor books that are about the same size that bring me joy, and maybe this is where I need to start figuring out my life, because if you notice, I have a Memory Called Empire here and over here. So let's get over there to this shelf up top here, because I did talk about moving some Jemison around. We've got my UK editions of His Dark Materials. I love His Dark Materials. It's like my favorite young adult, middle grade, whatever. Hold on, sorry. I need to adjust because I'm apparently trying to knock over a lamp. And then we have Jemison. Oh, I painted that once. It was fun. My Jemison duology, Louise Erdrich, who I love. That's not even my favorite book, but I just kind of like how it looks. And then my Ken Liu short story collections. Love them. Big Sanderson shelf. What can I say? Got both versions of Elantris in Spanish and in English, and it's leather bound because I love Elantris more than is reasonable. Warbreaker, Mistborn Era 2, Stormlight. We're going to be getting the next Stormlight soon, so again, the shelf will be in disarray. And then more hardbacks I like, so far right is the rest of my Sanderson. Actually, I can point with this finger, maybe? Hey, can you see me? Yes, so all this is Sanderson. my little horror hardbacks that I love. So this is the Victor Laval that I do have on my shelf, and I have another one down here because I love him. And then we've got Isabel Kanye's. I have to check if she has a new book coming out because I love her too. And then other hardbacks that I really love: Winter Night, Live Ship Traders, and the Text Clan Duology, which is why it's like, does this need to be here? If it's here, like these are the ones I like to read, but these are my pretty ones. And then down here, this shelf's, honestly, I probably should mess with these a bit more and I'd have more space. I have the Louise Erdrich that I love, and actually some of these are TBR books that they just like fit well. So I should also do that. There I love, The Changing I love, Pachinko I love. These are not my favorite Octavia Butler. I should actually move it to a different aesthetic shelf now that I have more shelving around. Just like home, I kind of just like how it looks. Uprooted is a favorite, and then I've got my Zoraida Cordova over here. One of the few young adults you'll find on my shelf are here, and Each of Us a Desert, because those are the ones I really, really love. Then over here, a young adult Sanderson series, which has just felt weird to not have near other Sanderson, but I don't really like it that much. So it should probably have a different home. The Last Witch, which is like the only Witcher book I really like. And then my two King Killer books. The first one is a first edition hardback that my cats have bitten, so it's worth probably very little, but it's what I have. So that's the tour. That's what I've accomplished. I've kind of gotten my life together. Maybe. Hope you enjoyed this chaotic good time.